Hello and welcome to day 117 of the 1000 days of no code challenge. They've all been there. You set up an automation, everything looks perfect, but then it fails. Maybe a required field was missing, API got timed out, or an unexpected error popped up. Nothing to worry about. We can see the logs, understand why the issue is coming, and use some error handling techniques to make sure our automation is more reliable and fail-proof. Today we'll explore how do we understand where the issue is coming from and how do we set up fail-proof systems so that in case of issues, we are notified on what the issue is and how do we go about it. By the end of this video, you will know how to create automations that don't break easily, saving you time and efforts. Let's dive in. Now, to understand about error logs, I'm going to create a scenario where error occurs, right? So I'm going to create a new workflow and let's call this as error log and click on create. Of course, you don't have to create an error log, but I just want to show you how do you understand if there is an error and how do you understand where is the error and how do you solve it, right? So I'm going to webhook and catch webhook. Okay, copy this particular thing. Let's go to Postman and I'm going to my workspace. I'm going to add a new column. I'll click on new, HTTP, make it as post. I'll enter this particular thing. You go to body, form data, let's say email, right? And let's call it as support with 7. Likewise, we'll put name and we'll call this as Ritesh. I'll click on send. Okay, it says success, and if we come back here, we can see those details being captured, right? So we've got email and also name. Now I'll go here, I'll use Microsoft 365 and send mail. Click on connect. My account is already linked, so I'll use the same thing, right? Subject is error log test, and go to body and say, hey, use the name from here. This is a sample email, and then to recipient will come from here, which is email. Click on save and send test request. The email would have gone from here, right? And this is already on. Okay. Now what is important is, now I'll go here and remove this particular thing and send. Okay. Now it shows success over here, but when we go here, right, we go to history and you can check that it has failed, right? Let's click on this to understand what actually failed. Okay, this went through, this didn't go through, right? So the reason it didn't go through is error invalid recipient. So we had to send an email, which means it requires an email address. But when we sent from Postman, we have not sent the email address. And because the email address was not there, we could not send the email to anybody, and hence this has thrown an error. So data in, if you see, right? So we have got the endpoint, we have got the subject, we have got the content, all of that is good, but message to recipients, 0 email address, right? And that out, we got an error. Now you know that it failed because the email address didn't come in, right? So this can be handled in 2 ways, right? One, you have to make the input over here as mandatory, okay? Second thing, you can go back to the workflow and run the sending email task only if the email address is there. That means you can add a filter over here, right? And this will be with a condition where we say email, right? Email is already selected, okay? Is not empty. Click on save and send test request. And only if this is successful, this will run. Okay. You can also use routers where you say if the email is there, then send the email to them. If the email is not there, then send the email to yourself that this particular user has not used email address. So please reach out to them in some or the other way and convey them what needs to be conveyed. So you know that the email has not reached the person whom it had to reach. Similarly, we have seen how do we check the logs in Zapier and Make. Use the same logic and you will understand where the error is from and you should be able to fix this. And that's how you use error handling to make your automations more reliable. Now, I have a challenge for you. Go check logs of all of your automations and see if you have got any errors in any of them. And if you have got them, please add error handling so that you will be notified whenever there is an error. Of course, these platforms notify you, but have your own notification system so that you can act upon it. Share your experience in the comments below. Tomorrow, we'll take a creative turn and use AI to generate entire automation for us. If you have ever wanted to build workflows effortlessly, you do not want to be missing it. And before you go, invite a friend to join this challenge. The more we automate, the more we all win. That's all for today. See you in the next one.